2018 has been a fantastic year for gamers everywhere. I'd say 2018 has been particularly good for fighting games and single player experiences. Now, before we begin, I'll only be including games released in 2018 that I've fully beaten, and I'll not be including any remasters, re-releases, remakes, DLC, or any games currently in early access within my list. I've also got a few honourable mentions that were just short of making it into my top 10 list. 2 Point Hospital is a resurrection of very addicting hospital simulating and management gameplay, with some very unusual funny challenges and illnesses to diagnose. One of my main faults with this game has already been patched out and fixed, which is the lack of ability to save room setups. Mega Man 11 brought Mega Man back visually better than ever before with a 3D overhaul and with the new dual gear gameplay mechanic which helps freshen up the Mega Man 2D platforming formula and structure. I was really hopeful for Darksiders 3. It brought its usual incredible dark fantasy art style and lent some brutal gameplay mechanics from the Souls series, only coming up a tiny bit short for my top 10 list. Darksiders 3 is still a great game, just the previous entries done it much better. With the honourable mentions out of the way, now it's time for my top 10 games of 2018. Ninokuni 2. This is a great RPG. The difficulty and story is aimed more so for younger audiences, but where it really shines is with its unique gameplay mechanics and systems. Running your own city, recruiting citizens for your city, and managing armies and skirmishes are just some of the systems that complement the usual JRPG experience and help keep the game fresh and engaging. Subnautica would have to be the biggest and most unexpected 2018 surprise for myself. A single-player underwater survival experience initially sounded terrible, but given time, I found myself completely addicted and thoroughly enjoying the very unique underwater-based experience. In particular, I loved the challenge of self-sustaining myself by learning new technology, building underwater bases, and exploring a planet filled with mystery and opportunity for discoveries. Dragon Quest XI. This is the second JRPG on my list. Not particularly breaking any new grounds, you're offered a really high quality traditional JRPG experience, which includes some pretty good endgame options and challenges. While Dragon Quest XI doesn't have quite as cool gameplay systems as Ninokuni 2, it sticks with the familiar and offers a fantastic story and a cast of mostly great characters. Vermintide 2. Chopping up legions of Skaven and Chaos Warriors with friends has never felt so satisfying within the Warhammer universe. Loads of game-changing loot alongside the addition of careers and talent trees makes for some great customization and a solid progression system, which has only been improved with the continued support of the development team throughout patches over time. Monster Hunter World. Another brilliant game for co-op with friends, opening up the typically restrictive and small Monster Hunter format to a much larger scale with more cohesive regions filled with monsters to hunt. When you're done with the main story, there's a generous offering of new endgame hunts that really extended the lifespan of the game for myself. SpiderMan. This PlayStation exclusive is astonishingly polished, the web slinging is great and the story is brilliant, leading to some really epic moments with a vast array of Spider-Man's villains. I think this new Spider-Man game takes the place of my favourite Spider-Man game of all time, finally knocking the PlayStation 1 title off its pedestal. Red Dead Redemption 2. As a single-player story experience, Red Dead Redemption 2 is an absolutely stellar experience. Your gang of outlaws are brilliant throughout the story and add to the game's overall authentic Wild West feeling. Regretfully, the multiplayer's endless grind or microtransaction focus is what prevents Red Dead from being in a better place on my list. Dragon Ball FighterZ. This fighting game is incredible at accurately capturing the true essence of the Dragon Ball anime. Visually spectacular, the animations are so extreme and over the top, it's brilliant and a work of art. I've had so much fun taking part in extremely tense matches online, This is easily the best Dragon Ball fighting game I've ever played, and I'd love to see a follow-up game or a second season pass of new fighters. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. While not as visually impressive as Dragon Ball FighterZ, Smash Ultimate offers an absolutely amazing roster of characters and maps. Everyone is bound to have multiple favourite fighters to brawl with. I'll never tire of playing Smash, and I cannot wait to see what future DLC characters are going to be revealed. When you've got a few friends around, Smash Ultimate is the quintessential couch multiplayer experience of 2018. God of War is my top game of 2018. Initially, the idea of a reboot with Viking gods left me a bit skeptical, but I quickly changed my mind after immersing myself in the new experience. With some pretty big changes and refinements to the usual God of War hack and slash formula, I found myself enjoying the new slower paced combat, gameplay systems and challenges offered. The story was also great. The interactions and developments between the cold-hearted Kratos and his naive son Atreus are pretty touching. I wish I could have shared my favourite story moment, but I'm afraid that'd involve too many spoilers. God of War is the definitive proof that single player games still have a prominent place in today's gaming industry. And those are my personal top 10 games of 2018. Would your list be different? Why not share your top 10 games of 2018 in the comments? 2018 has been a pretty great year for gaming. Fingers crossed 2019 is even better.